will I be YouTube famous? I don't know, but someone who is YouTube famous is Jeffree Star. And can you guess which eyeshadow palette I've used today to create this look? Can you? There's a huge clue on the screen right now if you can't. Of course you knew it was blood sugar. It arrived today. I'm super, super excited. And just to give you a quick glimpse of the inside, look at that, look at that. I will, of course, be going into far more depth. I will be doing swatches of each row for you, and I'll show you how to create this first look from the blood sugar palette. And yes, you can bet your bottom dollar you're gonna be seeing quite a bit of this over the next few tutorials. Sorry about that. So, if you're ready and you've got a drink and you've got a snack, here comes the tutorial. Hey, welcome back from the intro. It's here. It's finally arrived. Oh, you can smell the. Although it's vegan leather, it still smells like leather. So I'm going to do the clasps at the front, and then it's actually quite a tight. That's good. Oh, look at the huge mirror, but look at the beautiful. Ooh. You know I'm going to swatch it for you, right? I mean, you can see I haven't actually touched this yet. Right, nothing on my arm, no primer or anything. And I've got wet wipes down here for wiping my hand and a towel to dry off with. So what I'll do, I'm going to go along the top row first and then lean in a bit so you can see them better, take it off, do it again for the second row, do it again for the third. And then because I don't know how much fallout there's going to be with these, I'm actually going to do my eyes first, which I don't normally do because a number of times I've done that and then forget myself and then go to wipe my foundation across my eyes again. But that's what I'm going to do today. So starting off with the swatches. The first one is a Glucose, which is a pure white. The second one is Sugar Cane. Okay, so Glucose. Wow, that even shows up on my skin, that's amazing. And Sugar Cane. And wipe them off on there. And wipe them off on the towel. And then we've got Cake Mix. And Ouch. Okay, wipe off, and then I've got Donor. Oh, that feels super soft and creamy, and Intravenous. Look at the shine on that. Wow. So that's the top row. Okay. Now I'm going to pause you, I'm going to clean this off, I'll come back and do the second row. Don't go anywhere. To prove the point, drying the arm off. There's absolutely nothing on it. And let's go into the second row, which starts off with Candy Floss, which is what Americans call cotton candy. Americans call cotton candy, we know in UK as Candy Floss. And the second one is Tongue Pop. Very Shane Dawson. Okay, the next two are Sweetener and Cavity. And then O Positive and a Root Canal. O Positive is a lovely soft grey, but this Root Canal is one I'm interested in. It's the purple. Okay, so that's your second row. Once again, I'll pause you, clean this off, and come back. Oh, I'm going to feel this later. Right, last row, we've got Prick, love that, and Cherry Soda. You can see they are actually, they look quite similar on my fingers, but they are different when you swatch them. Fresh Meat, and then Blood Sugar, obviously the name of the palette itself. Ooh. Some of these are beautiful. And the last two are Extraction and Coma. Now they've all got the Jeffree Star on it, apart from Prick, which has got an intravenous needle, and Coma, which has got the caducus on it, which is the stick with the snake wound around it. Okay, so those last two are they're the only ones really that are a wee bit patchy, but I mean, even then you can see there's, you know, there's enough pigment there, and then it just doesn't blend out. It's not quite as soft, maybe, or anyway. Ow. Right, I'm going to clear this off, give myself a 15-20 minute break because that's really hurt my back, and I'll be straight back. Hey, welcome back. Right, face is washed, moisturised and primed with my usual facial antiperspirant that I always use. And I have I've put a mixture of Revolution Conceal and Define and Colourpop No Colour Concealer on my lids. I've set them with this, and I've done my brows with my usual Essence pencil and just set them with Ready Set Brow. Right, I have got my colour switch here, I have got clean brushes here, and I have got a new palette to play with here. So I'm going to zoom you in, and I'm basically going to have a play with this palette and just see what happens, really. I genuinely don't know what look I'm going to go for. I'm just going to see where my instinct takes me. So let's scoot you in a wee bit. Okay, starting off with the big fluffy brush that I use for my translucent powder, I'm just going to go into Glucose and just run that all over the lid, which is the pure white. Just run that over the, and you can see it has lightened it already, even though I am tapping off. So even on my pale skin, this white shows up. So that's pretty damn impressive already. As you know, I always say that eyeshadows from the same palette always blend better on themselves. And also putting a nice white base down like this should let the colours really pop. So I'm going to go in with this, as you can tell, synthetic duo fibre brush, and I think that's my phone vibrating, fabulous. I think I will go into sugar cane or cake mix. let's go into sugar cane first, which is the lighter of the two sort of transition-y browns on the top row. I'm just going to run that through my crease. Now, as I always say, if you've got hooded lids, you can still follow my tutorials. All you need to do when looking straight ahead, just get a pencil brush or a thinner brush and just sketch out where you need your crease to be. Just means moving your crease higher up. There is a bit of kick up in the pan. If I can just show you that. She said not actually being able to see a viewfinder. There you go. As you can see, there's a bit of a kick up in the pan, but you know, tapping your brush off. At the moment, at least, there doesn't appear to be a huge amount of fallout on the face, which is fine. I don't mind kick up in the pan, providing it doesn't end up all down your cheeks. I'm just going to, as always, windscreen wiper first, and then just little twirly, helicoptery, twisty, sycamore leafy, whatever you want to call it, movements to blend that up towards the brow. And I tend to stop about 5 or 6 mils below the brow. Obviously I can go in a lot heavier than this if I want, but I'm trying to use as many colours as possible as I can on this first look. So I don't want to go in too heavy to start with, because with 43-year-old eyelids, too much eyeshadow isn't always a good thing. Much better to do lots of thinner layers than go in Wampy Campus with a huge thick layer to start with. So that's sugar cane. It's a really nice neutral transition shade. So going into my colour switch, cleaning the colour off my brush. I think I'm going to go into, let's go into O Positive, which is the grey, sort of grey taupey colour. Build a bit of colour up. As always, these are super buttery and they blend on themselves beautifully. But then I wouldn't expect any less really, because Jeffree's other two palettes are the same, super buttery and awesome. Obviously I've only tried the matte formula at the moment, but so far they meet the usual Jeffree Star standard. This is lovely, and you can see how easily that's just blending and not losing its tone, not going muddy or... Ooh, I love a good shadow. Can't decide really whether to go into the purpley pinks or whether to go into the reds today. You know you're going to see a lot of this palette, don't you? You know I'm going to be using this quite a bit over the next few tutorials, because there's just so many options there. And I will show you some sort of everyday, I mean you can get probably a really subtle look out of this palette if you want. I'll eventually get round to showing you those, but you know me, I'm going to go for colour first. Right, clean that brush off again. I'm going to have to go into those reds, you know. It's got to be done. So, getting a slightly smaller brush, still synthetic, but not duo fibre this time. Let's go into Prick. Yeah, let's go into Prick. Oh, this one doesn't seem to be kicking up as much in the pan. It could just be that it's a different brush, obviously. But it still picks up plenty of pigment, as you can see. Now let's see how the pigment goes on. Okay, I see you there. Yep, yep, you're not playing around with that pigment, are you, Jeffree? Alrighty then. Yeah, Okie dokie. I don't know why I'm sounding surprised. I mean, you know, he's all the brights in his other palettes pack a punch. But I have to admit, when he didn't actually swatch the palette on the reveal, I was a little worried. I'm like, why is he not swatching it? What's going on? Is there a lot of kick up? I mean, you can't always tell by swatches. I'm just taking as much pigment off of this as I can. Just so I'm not adding any more when I'm buffing this. I'm buffing over the edges. You can't always go by swatches. I mean, I've had eyeshadows that swatch beautifully and then just with a brush, just no hope in hell. And the reverse is true as well. You can get palettes that swatch awfully, but then, you know, you lay them down with a brush and you get awesome pigment. So, but yeah, it did worry me that he didn't even swatch the shimmers, because, I mean, shimmers are the easier formula to make than the mattes. Just, oh look. This looks so beautifully bright in my viewfinder. I really hope it comes across this bright once I edit the film. I'm being so rude, I haven't even asked you yet how your day is. I'm so excited about having a new palette to play with, particularly one that I've waited for a very long time. I wish Jeffree wouldn't do that. Normally with his palettes, they go to Beautylish the same day he launches them on his site. Then they come to Beauty Bay a couple of weeks after, so I normally get it from Beautylish and it arrives normally a day or two before Beauty Bay get it over here in the UK. And Beautylish do free shipping once you hit $35, and you pay all your taxes and stuff up front, so there's no delay when it hits the UK, it just comes straight out to you, which is great. But obviously he launched this in February on his site, and the problem with, if you're in the UK buying from Jeffree's site, is you then end up having to pay shipping on top, because even when he does his free shipping, he doesn't even reduce the shipping costs for overseas customers, which is really frustrating. So I've just realised I've put a little bit more pigment on this eye, so I'm just going to add a bit more to this one. And he doesn't work out, his site doesn't work out the taxes beforehand. So not only are you paying usually about $10-15 depending on what you're ordering, on top of the price of the goods, but then you're getting hit with 20% tax when it hits the UK, and because they have to process your payment, they charge you either 8 or 13 quid on top of that, so it can double the price of a palette. So I'm like, although I really wanted this palette because I do love reds, you know, being half Welsh, red is, I'm particularly drawn to the colour. I've always loved red, even as a kid. I mean, purple's my favourite colour, but if you look in my wardrobe, there's lots and lots of red as well. Admittedly, a lot of those are rugby shirts, but there's still a lot of red in there. And reds are really difficult as well to get good pigmentation on. But you can see this is really, and there doesn't appear to be a huge amount of fallout either, so I could have done my foundation first. Anyway, right, what colour am I going to go into next? Let's go into, let's deepen it up a little bit with a little bit of fresh meat, I think. Oh no, this is actually kicking up more, so it must just be must be a slightly different formula, because that doesn't kick up anywhere near as much in the pan as this one did. And obviously I'm using the same brush, so what was I saying? Oh yeah, buying from Jeffree Star. You know, you can double the price of a palette, and I was absolutely gutted when it was only on his site and it sold out in like minutes. I mean, it was what, less than 10 minutes and it was all gone. And he did the pre-order, and then it took ages for people to get the pre-orders out. And I'm still there patiently waiting for it to come to either Beautylish or Beauty Bay. Beauty Bay actually got pre-orders before Beautylish did. So I actually ordered with them. And then Beautylish, and then when they sent you the link and you ordered it, it wasn't really until you'd almost finished paying for it that you realised it was a pre-order. But I thought, no, do you know what? At least it's ordered and I know I'm going to get it. And then it arrived at Beautylish and they'd actually got the stocks, and I was like, oh. But the way it's turning out, people are getting their palettes either yesterday or today from Beautylish, and I got mine today, so I'm okay with that. I mean, you can see this is packing on really nicely, this. Just deepening the... I'm not really giving you much of a tutorial, I'm really chatting today, aren't I? This is more of a get ready with me, and it's meant to be a palette review. I'm just taking this sort of, not all the way across, sort of 3/4 of the way across the crease there, and just deepening the outer corner here. Outer, that was very Essex, wasn't it? I do beg your pardon. Deepening the outer corner. And then just twirling along the actual crease line and not taking it too high up. I'm just going to take any excess off of that brush and just buff over where the two colours meet. I might pick up a wee bit more of that prick actually. Makes me smile every time I say that word. Oh dear. And just use that just to buff over where the two colours meet. Just to keep that vibrancy underneath it. Oh, I like. Right, clean the brush off, back into fresh meat. I'll try and talk you through what I'm doing this time. The problem is I don't really know what I'm doing myself. I'm just wandering around the palette and seeing which colours call to me. So I've put some colour just on the tip of the bristles. I'm just going to pop them on that outer corner there. Okay. Then pick up a wee bit more on the tip of the bristles. And run it 3/4 of the way along the crease line. This is what I should have been telling you for the other eye, but I was too busy wittering. And then I'm just going to buff. I did my wiggles and my waggles. Waggle on the top lid, wiggle on the bottom one, and you should know this by now. And now I'm just doing my twirly whirlies. Not curly whirlies, that's a chocolate bar. Oh, now I'm fancying a curly whirly. I've not had one of them for years. Used to be able to get them for about 7.5p when I was at school. Me and my mate used to get one, split it between us on the way to school in the morning. Without telling our parents, obviously. I mean, that really is building colour up beautifully, and there's really negligible, if any, fallout at all from this. I am so impressed with that, because all the other red ones that I've got, from even the really good ones from Blush Tribe, has fallout. I'm just taking that colour off and buffing over the edges again. And then picking up a wee bit more of the bright red prick. Sorry, I can't help smiling when I say that word. It means something very different over here in the UK. It's actually an insult. It's probably an insult in the US as well. If you're in the US, just tell me if prick is an insult in the comments, please. I'll be interested to know. Okay, that's looking quite dramatic. Oh, I've got my first bit of fallout. Look at that. That'll happen eventually. Right, now, do I go in for the bright purple, or do I go in for a deeper? I think I need to go in for one of the deeper ones, don't I? So I think I will I'll go into Coma, which is the one with the caducus on it, on the bottom right corner, and just pick up the colour on the tips and repeat what I did last time, but concentrate it much more on the outer edge than carrying it across. I'm really just wanting to pack the colour in there and just go a little bit along the lid like that. Oh, this is so nice. This one is the first one that's needing a little bit more work with blending. But even so, you can see it's blending in really easily. It's not causing me any trouble at all. It's just taking a little bit longer to blend out than the others. But then you find that with deeper pigments anyway. They tend to need a wee bit more encouragement to blend. What do we think? Do you like? Let's just take the colour off and buff the edge of that one. And repeat on the other side. This is such a beautiful sort of... It reminds me of a drink we've got over here called Vimto, which is a deep purple squash originally, but you can get it as a fizz now as well, which is 4 or 5 different fruit flavours. I used to love a bit of Vimto when I was a kid. Next door's kids are having fun playing. I love hearing that. They always play together so well. Unlike the other side, where you tend to hear us shouting and screaming and I want to go. That side know how to share and play together properly. And just buff that darker colour in a little bit. I'm really liking this. Ooh, yeah, I'm really liking this. Let me just, I want to have a wee bit of a closer look, because obviously I'm a fair distance from my viewfinder. Oh wow, yeah, that's really blended lovely together. I am super impressed with that. And let's just pop my Bright Red Jeffree Star mirror back into its little padded case. Keep it nice and protected. Right, let's clean this brush off. I have no idea what that accent was, I do apologise. You know what I'm like. Or at least you should do if you've watched any number of my videos by now. Right, I'm going to go into a packer type brush. And do I want to do this as an all matte look or do I want to add some shimmer? I want to get rid of that fallout because it's annoying me. And this is why I didn't do my foundation first. Because I didn't know how much fallout there would be. And doing it like that, you can just sweep it away. I think I'm going to go into Candy Floss, which is that beautiful metallic pink. I'm going to try it dry first, pop that on the lid. That's actually quite sweet. I suppose candy floss is sweet, isn't it, really? Spun sugar. I might go in with that wet in a minute. Just want to do the other side first. Yes, I could have cut my crease, but that's not the look I'm going for today. I want a blended look. I'm not going for a sharp cut crease today. There's enough pigmentation in this, you could almost do a cut crease with it. Right, where's my setting spray? I'm on my Rimmel one at the moment. So let's pick up some more of that candy floss and give the brush a bit of a spray. Oh, yeah, okay. That increases the power factor quite a bit. Look at that. Just put the brush straight across my eye. Oh, ow. Don't do that because that will hurt. And it will make your eyes run, which is not good when you're doing makeup. I'll pick some more up. And do this side. I'm absolutely loving this palette already. And yes, I know you're going to say that I'm biased because I've got a lot of Jeffree Star stuff, but you're seeing how this is performing just as well as I am. You could see from the palette that I'd not touched it, I'd not even swatched it before I came on camera. So you're seeing my first use of it at the same time as I am. And you can't deny it's producing a really nice look. So I'm going to go back in my original, no not that one, my thinner fluffy brush with nothing on it, and I'm just going to buff over where the metallic meets the matte, just to give it a bit of a softer blend. As I said, I'm not going for a cut crease today. That's so nice. Right, I'm going to go off camera, put my foundation and my base products on, like my bronzer and blush, etc., and I will come back and finish off the bottom of my eyes. Don't go anywhere now. I'm back. I used LA Girl Pro Matte Foundation. I used the Colourpop concealer under my eyes. I used my Bourjois bronzer, my Tarte Amazonian Clay blush in Exposed, and I have lined my upper lid. Now, with a smaller flat brush, I am. I've got to go into that purple. I've got to go into Root Canal. It's just calling my name. So just tipping the bristles in it. Right, scoot you on my camera. Let me go a wee bit closer. Yeah, well, good. I'm just going to wiggle that up under the bottom lashes. Such a beautiful magenta purple. These shadows are just, I think they're the best formulation he's ever done. They're so soft and buttery. But you don't lose any impact with them at all. And then just taking all of the colour, or as much of the colour off of that as I can, because the colour switch has got colour on it, it does smudge it down the brush, the bristles, but you can see there's no colour coming off of them. And then I'm going to go into Cake Mix on the top row, just to smudge the bottom of that line out, just so we get like a nice sort of butterscotchy brown blending out under that magenta, purple, pink, whatever you want to call it, root canal. I always smudge one lower than the other. Oh well, I still like it. Right, mascara time. And I'm going to go in with my Essence Lash Princess, the green one, which is the false lash effect. And as I've said to you before with mascara, wiggle it into the bottom of your lash line. And then just blink your lashes through the brush. Far less likely to poke yourself in your eye doing it that way. And then just, ooh, okay, I was going to say smudge a little bit onto the bottom lashes. That's quite a bit on the bottom lashes there. But I think the look can take it. If I was doing this for a night out, I'd put really big fluttery lashes on now. But I'm not going for a night out. Let's go into the Uranus Skin Frost, because it'd be rude to use a different highlighter, really, wouldn't it? Or a different brand. And then just going in with a little brush. A wee bit of that in the corner. I suppose really I should have gone for one of his pink ones, either Princess Cut or Nefri, but they're both quite cool tone pinks, and this is quite a warm look that I've done, so and then let's zoom you out. Get my teardrop brush and basically attack the rest of my face with highlight. You all know this is one of my favourite steps, popping my highlight on. Don't feel dressed without it. This is such a lovely bold eye look, it really is. Excuse me. Even my stomach's getting excited by it. Right, setting spray while I decide which lipstick I want to wear with it. I like my makeup to stay put. You know it by now. Right, I'm going to do something with my hair and pick a lipstick. I'll be right back. Don't go anywhere. Hey, I'm back. So, what are my official thoughts on the Blood Sugar palette? If I had more than 2 thumbs to put up, I would put all of them up. The lipstick that I've gone for is actually one of his bullet lipsticks from the Lovesick collection, and it's androgyny. It's the ones where you get the little hearts on the packaging as you turn the light on it. So cute. I just thought it'd be rude not to use one from the same collection, really, wouldn't it? So there you go. There is my Blood Sugar palette tutorial. Well, the first one anyway. There's probably going to be quite a few of these in varying different tones and colours, because I am so inspired by this. So inspired. There are so many different options available and so many different eye looks, from really striking, really powerful like this through to softer ones. If you only have one palette in your life, it needs to be this one. Seriously. If I lost all of my collection right now, the first thing I'd look to rebuy, even though it's out of stock everywhere, would be that one. Because I really like it. I hope you enjoyed this tutorial. If you did, perhaps you'd like to hit that like button, comment, subscribe. If you do subscribe, hit the bell so you join my notification squad, and then you don't miss out on any more of the madness that I upload. See you soon. Bye for now.